Tired of waiting for new chapters? In this video I bring you 12 completed manhwas. 1. Rewriting my tragic ending. Alicia Melfont watched the agent of the dark god slaughter her family. She swore to restore her house's glory. But then a mysterious book reveals she's only a side character, destined to die so the true protagonist can shine. Her response is definitive. No book gets to decide her fate. A story of determination, dark magic, and a protagonist who grabs her ending with both hands and refuses to let go. 2. Actually, I was real. Kiera spent her whole life seeking her father's love. But when Khalith appeared claiming to be the true daughter, Kiera was sent to execution for supposedly deceiving everyone. In her final moments, Khalith whispered, "The truth is, you really are the real one." Returning to the past with that revelation, Kiera makes a radical decision. This time, she will live only for herself. A story of growth, friendship, and an adorable protagonist learning to love herself for the very first time. 3. The Villainess Wants to Go Home. I possessed Aston, the villainous friend of heroine Lily. I knew that staying close to her would ruin her happy ending, so I chose to disappear from her life. The plan was perfect, until the male lead, with sad eyes, came looking for me. Don't leave me alone. Why does he look at me as if he knows me? And why is he promising to help me get home? A story mixing sacrifice, identity, and a love that blooms in the most unexpected way. 4. The heroine had an affair with my fiance. Ciela Labyrinth knows that in the original story, she ends up at the guillotine. So she did everything possible to twist fate. What she didn't expect was this plot twist. Her fiance fell in love with the heroine. She was supposed to end up with the crown prince. That was the plan. Now Ciela must deal with a betrayed heart, a story that spiraled out of control, and the urgent need to survive a narrative that no longer follows the script. A story of romance, revenge, and a side character refusing to stay a victim. 5. Becoming the obsessive male lead's ex-wife. She possessed the villain of the story, a defeated kingdom's princess who ends up executed for allegedly trying to kill her husband. Her survival plan was simple: behave, earn his trust, then quietly ask for a divorce. But her husband, who was supposed to hate her, starts acting completely strange. Doesn't he want the divorce? Or is something far deeper happening between them? A love story born from regret that evolved into something far more complicated. 6. My Fair Maid. Sandy is an adorable maid whose specialty is cleaning. One stormy day, her soul ends up in the body of Alexandra, the most beautiful young woman in high society, and the fiancé of the cold Duke Killian. To return to her original body, Sandy must impersonate Alexandra without anyone noticing. But keeping the secret while the Duke is this close turns out to be far harder than expected. A charming romantic comedy about switched identities, confused hearts, and a love that bloomed in the most unexpected place. 7. I accidentally tamed the Duke. Urania sacrificed her sight and voice to protect Duke Euclides, but her reward was imprisonment and a slow death from drug addiction. Returning 4 months before her end, the first thing she does is demand a divorce. She just wants a cure and a peaceful life. But the truth of what really happened to her comes to light, and the cold Duke who imprisoned her now looks at her with eyes she doesn't recognize. What changed in him? And can Urania trust a man who already betrayed her once? 8. Sigrid. Sigrid lived her entire life by the rules. She was loyal to the Emperor until the very end, and the Emperor had her executed. Returning to the past, she decides this time she lives for herself. She changes what she eats, what she wears, what she buys, and her whole world begins to transform. But her old rival and nemesis Verimud crosses her path again. Could we start as friends? Can a woman who dedicated an entire lifetime to duty learn to live for herself? 9. Once again, into the light. Edenbell, the fourth princess of the Empire, grew up invisible and mistreated. At 14, she was falsely accused of attempting to murder her younger sister, and nobody wanted to hear her side. She was publicly executed in the dead of winter for a crime she never committed. But now she has a second chance, and this time, the story will be different. A heartbreaking story of injustice and redemption for a princess who only ever wanted to be loved. 10. Traces of the Moon. Asina, daughter of Archduke Cromwell, had everything. But her adventurous spirit led her into the Forbidden Desert, where she was captured by Sahad, the king of the enemy state of Pezhen, accused of espionage. What began as an arrest ends with her placed in the royal harem, guarding a secret identity while an undeniable attraction grows between her and this distant, guarded king. Can Asina protect her secret without losing her heart? 11. I fell in love at first sight, Sir Hidden Villain. The Crown Princess knows she's destined to be murdered by Grand Duke Adler on their wedding night. Her solution? Pretend she fell for him at first sight and build a bond before he decides to kill her. The plan seems solid, but Adler is not easy to fool, and when he catches her dancing with another man, his icy words make it clear that a killer's jealousy is something else entirely. A story of danger, seduction, and a power game where no one knows who's hunting whom. 12. I'm stuck in a soap opera. She died of a heart attack while watching her favorite drama, and woke up inside it. Not as the heroine, but as Shinsera, the antagonist whose fate is to die at the hands of the male lead. Now she must navigate betrayals, schemes, and a script that condemns her, all while searching for a way to rewrite an ending that was never meant to be hers. A story blending humor, drama, and the desperate fight of a woman who refuses to follow anyone else's script.